Hey guys, so in these few set of videos, we are trying to understand the art of the state creation, that is dynamic programming, and in this particular video, we are trying to understand tabulation and memoization. So to understand tabulation and memoization better, we decided to select on three different parameters to compare them upon. So the benefits will be you will get an hand-on-hand comparison between tabulation versus memoization, and you'll also get an understanding of tabulation and memoization, what they actually are. Alright, so the parameters that we chose were ordering of the states, is the particular approach recursive or not, and is there any possibility of space optimization. So any other differences or any other comparison can be derived with the help of these three comparisons, these three fundamental parameters. All right, so basically let's just move on ahead with the next. So basically the first parameter to compare was the ordering of states, right? So in the previous video, we already discussed how to order states of a DP. All right. So this is also the third sub problem that we need to solve in order to solve a dynamic programming problem. All right. So basically, ordering the states of a DP means you have to lay down the order in which you will solve the states. All right. For example, let's just take the example of the Fibonacci series that we solved in the previous video. So the recurrence relation for that was dp of n equals to dp of n minus 1 plus dp of n minus 2, and the base cases for dp of 0 was equals to 0 and dp of 1 was equals to 1. All right. So basically, if you look at this recurrence relation, it means that to solve the nth state, you need to solve the n minus 1th state first and also the n minus second state. In the same way, to solve the n minus second state, n minus first state, you need to solve the n minus second state and n minus third state first. In the same way, to solve the third state, first you need to solve the second state and then the first state. So this goes on something like this. To solve the second state, you first need to solve the first state and then the 0th state. And since the first and the 0th states are the base cases, you do not really need to solve them. So this if you actually there is a way to represent this all as a directed acyclic graph. All right, and the order in which you solve the states is actually the topological sorted order of the directed acyclic graph. And for this case, for the cases of Fibonacci series, the order is something like 2, 3, 4, 5, and up to n. That is, to compute the nth state of the dp, first you will before computing the nth state of the dp, you will compute n minus 1th state, and before computing the n minus 1th state, you will compute the n minus second state, and that goes on up to 2. All right, so you will solve the states in this order. That is, first you will solve the second state, then third, then fourth, then fifth, and up to n. All right, so let's just clean this up a bit now. So this is what actually ordering of states mean in context of dynamic programming problem. So basically, whenever you are tabulating, the ordering of the states is very important. That is, whenever you are tabulating, you will need to order the states. That is, you will need to find a correct topological order in which you need to solve the states in. So and but in memoization, there is no need to actually lay down the ordering, so it's not important. So this is for this particular parameter, memoization wins. Now how actually memoization helps us ignore the ordering step, that is the third sub problem of a dp problem. So to understand that, we will understand all of these in the in while we do a comparative analysis of the coding part of the memoization and tabulation. But for now, you just have to keep in mind that in case of memoization, the ordering of the states is not important, and memoization takes care of this ordering implicitly. That's the beauty of memoization. Let's call it the beauty of memoization. And it is also one of the strongest factor of one of the strongest plus point of memoization, why it wins the why it wins over tabulation. All right, so basically for this case, the memoization wins in this comparison. So let's just move on to the next parameter that we chose to compare upon. So that is recursiveness. So is the approach recursive or not? So tabulation is not recursive. So but memoization is recursive. Now this will become more clearer when we have a look at the coding example again, but for now, just to give you a brief summary of how memoization works and why it is recursive, let's just say that I want to compute Fibonacci of n. All right, so for this, whenever you want to perform a memoization, you actually create a wrapper function. All right, so in case of memoization, you create a wrapper function. So in this, let's say you want the value of dp of n, so in this wrapper function, you pass in the value of the state. All right, so you will create a wrapper function. Let's say we will call the function as int Fibonacci, and it takes in a input value n, that is the state that I need the value for. And in this wrapper function, you will find the pass in the value of the state for which you want the value. All right, so basically, let's say you want the value of dp of n, you will, in the wrapper function, you will pass in the value of n, and you will get the value of dp of n. All right, so this is how a memoization approach actually works. There is an existence of a wrapper function. So this wrapper function is not available in tabulation approach. Now what happens is, whenever you call this wrapper function n, what it does is, it checks whether this the value that you passed, if it's a base case or not. So basically, if it's a base case, it will directly return the value for that corresponding base case. So it checks for base cases. So this is always the part one of the wrapper function. This is the first thing that you need to do in a wrapper function. And the second thing that you need to do in a wrapper function is check if the state has been solved or not. So it checks if the state was solved before or not. So let's say if let's say Fibonacci of n, that is dp of n, was computed before, so it will directly, if let's say if solved n, in that case it will directly return the value of dpn, because it means that the value of dpn, this dp is a global array. Let's say for now it's a global array, it means that this is already solved. All right, in that case it will return the value of dp of n. Otherwise, what it will do is, it will solve the states. All right, it will solve the value of the state, and that state will be solved something like this: dp of n equals to, it will again solve this with the help of some wrapper functions like Fibonacci of n minus 1 plus Fibonacci of n minus 2 in this case. All right, so if you see at this step, it actually called two other functions to compute the value of its dp. All right, and in the fourth step, it will just return the value of dp that it solved. So that's how a wrapper function works in case of a memoization, and this is how we actually these are the steps that you need to follow when you are memoizing. So basically, we will understand it better when we try to have a look at the code. So most of the things you will get used to in there. So for now, this was just for information sake, to give you a brief idea of how memoization works. Now if you notice, since I already told you that if Fibonacci of n, in case it has not been solved before, it will call the value of Fibonacci of n minus 1 plus Fibonacci of n minus 2. In the same way, this Fibonacci of n minus 1 will call the value of Fibonacci of n minus 2 and Fibonacci of n minus 3. All right, so factor, that is possibility of space optimization. Now this is the part where tabulation seriously wins the race. All right, so there are a lot of different dynamic programming problems. You might not have heard about them now, but as you keep practicing, these will be one of the most standard dynamic programming problems that you will encounter. The first one is knapsack. The second one is let's say coin change. Even let's include the Fibonacci series problem in the list. Fibonacci series. One more can be like longest common subsequence. For example, in case of knapsack, the space complexity usually is whenever you try to code, when you try to code it up for the first time, you'll find that the space complexity is O of n into w. But with the help of tabulation, there is a way to actually convert this into O of w, solve this entire problem in O of w extra, in O of w space. All right, so basically this O of n into w gets converted into O of w, but this happens only in the case of tabulation and not in the case of memoization. All right, so there are there are a lot of problems which can be actually optimized with the help of with the help of tabulation in terms of space complexity. So let's just understand this with the help of a very simple example, that is the Fibonacci series. How do we actually optimize the Fibonacci series in case of tabulation? All right. So basically, whenever, let's say, if you remember the recurrence relation, it was something like dp of n is equals to dp of n minus 1 plus dp of n minus 2. All right. So let's say you want to compute the value of dp of 10 to the power 6. All right. So, and let's say that you have computed the you have now at a particular point you have the value of dp of I and dp of I minus 1. All right. Let's say that you do not have the value of any other states, you are only keeping the value of these two states in memory, and all the states with value less than I minus 1, you have deleted them from the memory, you are not keeping them in memory. All right. Now let's say I want to compute the value of dp of I plus 1 now. All right. So in this step, dp of I plus 1 will be equals to dp of I plus dp of I minus 1. All right. Now what I will do is, now since I know the value of dp of I plus 1, what I will do is I will remove dp of I minus 1 from the array, and after the end of this step I will know the value of dp of I plus 1 and dp of I. All right. And in the same way, in the next step, what I will do is I will compute the value of dp of I plus 2. All right. And then I will delete dp of I from the array, and then I will know the value of dp of I plus 2 and dp of I plus 1. All right. And this will continue till I finally compute the value of dp of 10 to the power 6. So basically the idea is, you do not actually need to know the value to compute the I plus 1th state. You do not really need to know the value of any other state other than the I and I minus 1th state. All right. So you can delete all the other states from the memory because you are never going to need them in future. So this is the same idea which knapsack and other problems also utilizes to improve their space complexity. So you will learn about them when you try to solve those problems. So there is no need to get into them right now. So basically this is the brief idea of how a space optimization works in here. So in this case, if you notice, since you're only keeping two variables in memory at a time, the total time complexity will remain the same, that is O of n, but the total space complexity will drop down to O of 1, because you're only keeping two variables in a memory at a time. Then you compute the value of the third variable, and then you delete the one of the variables again. All right. So because of this, the overall time complexity is O of 1. All right. So we have already discussed the three factors. So in this factor, memoization seriously wins the race on the basis of this parameter. Now in the next video, we'll try to compare these three parameters again, but with the help of a code. All right. And in the next video, we'll also understand how we actually code a memoization and how we actually code a tabulation problem. So the next video will be very important to understand actually the main difference between tabulation and memoization. So I'll see you guys there.